Hi everyone, I've come up here to the Lowestoft sea wall today to tell you the story about the folklore of the herring moon. East Anglian fishermen traditionally said the best herring came in the October full moon, especially if it fell mid to late month. Analysis of daily landings at Yarmouth and Lowestoft found a monthly rhythm which peaks at the full moon. Lowestoft has been associated with fishing since the Middle Ages. Nicknamed the Silver Darlings, herrings were caught in massive numbers. In the late 1800s, the arrival of the railway in Lowestoft allowed freshly caught herrings to be sent to markets inland. In the distance there you can see Gulliver, which is the tallest wind turbine in Europe. And that is next to Ness Point, which is the most easterly point of Britain, where we'll be going in a moment. Lowestoft bustled with smokehouses, curing yards and fish merchants, and employed thousands of people. In fact, my own house was originally a smokehouse, but I'm not going to show you it because I don't want everyone knowing where I live. There were herring girls who gutted and packed the fish. This is a historical area of Lowestoft. In the background there you can see the lighthouse, which is in one of my other videos. And this is where they had the drying nets. So the fishermen used to haul their nets onto here to dry before they went up the scores to their cottages, which are at the top of the cliff. The fishermen believed that sprinkling their nets with beer would bring them luck. Casting an odd number of drift nets would also bring them luck. Avoid launching a new boat on a Friday, and if you saw a nun on the way to the boat, touch something iron to avert bad luck. This whole area here was called the Grit and would have been covered in hundreds of houses, smokehouses, fishing shops, pubs. An ancient mythological story explains that herrings used to live on dry land, but were responsible for a ship sinking. As punishment, Neptune said that they must live in the sea, forever to be caught in nets and packed in salt. On the right there, that is the Bird's Eye factory. If you'd like to know where your fish fingers and all your Bird's Eye products, potato waffles, come from, there it is. So here we are at Ness Point. This is the most easterly point of Britain. If I walk around here, I am now the most easterly person in Britain. There's always people here visiting this. Usually the sea comes right up to here, but obviously the tide is low today. Lowestoft's fishing fleet is now a fraction of its former size, but its herring heritage remains visible in historic smokehouses and community events. There's lots of people living the van life here, living in their caravans and their vans off-grid. So here we are at the bottom of Gulliver, the wind turbine. It is very tall. And this bit here would have been where the Scottish fisher girls worked. And they came here every year to gut the herring. And there would be hundreds of them working here, all gutting and pickling, putting it into barrels. There are loads of photos of this happening, so I will upload some and put it into the video. This is now mainly an industrial area of Lowestoft, but it would have been called the Beach Village, and it was absolutely jam-packed with houses, shops, pubs, smokehouses. Especially this corner. This corner here was extremely busy. Gasworks Road, Wild Street. And there are loads of old photos of that as well, which I will show you. This is Newcombe Road, and here we are outside one of the remaining smokehouses, which I can't show you because the sun is shining right in it. Hold on. The Silver Darlings Smokehouse, which we're now going to go and have a look. All the fish that's been smoked is here. Funnily enough, no herrings.
Yeah, so we are the oldest, 150 years, and we are the most easterly smokehouse in the country.
Because we've just been and had a look at the most easterly point on the way here.
Yes, and we are the most easterly smokehouse in the country.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Now I'm going to buy a herring.
So what music are you into?
Oh, thank you. How much is that?
You can have that for 50 pence.
50 pence? That's a bargain, isn't it? Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, so we do all the salmon, the kippers, the cold smoked haddock, prawns. You still got prawns in there, which are these. Hot smoked prawns. They're fresh, they're hot smoked, they're smoked. Right. And we do crevettes.
Crab. So I've purchased 2 herrings for my tea tonight, which I'll show you later. And it was 50 pence. How cheap is that? And they have a website, so I'll put it in the description so that you can visit it. They have an online shop as well. This corner here would originally have had a pub on it called The Rising Sun. And there's a song called The House of the Rising Sun by the Trogs, which originated from a folk song which was sung in the pub on this corner. They used to sing a song called The Rising Sun, which was then made into the song by the Trogs. I think it was the Trogs. I'll have to look that up. So here I have a mix of flour, herbs and paprika and salt and pepper. So I've coated them with that, and then I've sprayed them with spray oil, and now I'm going to put them in the air fryer. This old building here was originally a smokehouse, and you can still see the original chimney. This is Christ Church. It's the most easterly church in the UK. And it's down here, which is Watload Road. This would also have been part of the beach village. And there in the background you can see the wind turbine. There's always got to be a car coming along, isn't there, when you're filming? So this building here, this blue building, is a smokehouse from years ago. It's what used to be the oldest working smokehouse in Britain, but it shut down a few years ago, and it looks like it's been sold now, unless that's the house next door. So it looks like they're going to make it into something else. Years ago, when you used to go in there, you used to be able to see all of the fish hanging up, smoking, and you go in there and you could buy kippers and herrings. And if you stood here, you could smell the smoked fish for miles. I should imagine living next door to it, you were smelling it all the time. So this is what the back of it looks like. You can see there's a really old building there. And those two little windows at the top left-hand side is where the smoke used to come out from the kippers. And it's not my imagination. I've got a bit of a cold and I can still smell smoked kippers when you stand at the back of here. So you can tell that inside you can still smell it really strongly. This is one of the modern smokehouses, and now we're in the old fishing boat area of Lowestoft. I don't know if you can hear me because there's someone drilling on a roof over there. But originally this would have been the fish docks, and there would have been all, gutting of the fish and everything going on here. And on the other side of that building is where all the boats used to moor up. But I'm not sure if I'm allowed up there. So here is a fish-themed coffee shop, which I'm now going to go and have a look in to fancy a coffee. So here we are up on Lowestoft seawall on the night of the herring moon, and it's cloudy, so this is the best I can see of herring moon, which is this light fish in the sky here. You can see the flashing lights of all the ships out on the sea, and up there, those lights there, that's Great Yarmouth. And then you come round onto Lowestoft High Street. That is the lighthouse there. It's also firework night, so you can hear lots of bangs. I don't know whether the camera can pick up on that, but there's flashing lights out there coming from the ships that are on the horizon. And I don't know whether they're talking to each other by Morse code or what. But you see that a lot up here, the flashing lights of ships, one after the other. If anyone knows, then you let me know in the comments, please. From over here you can just about see that the sky is slightly lighter there. That would be where the herring moon is. I'm sure the herrings know this. There's always got to be a car coming along when you're filming, isn't there? I'm on my way up to my local community coffee shop now because they have an event every year to celebrate the herring moon. So we're going to have herrings and bread, and there's always some interesting people in there. So here we are outside of the Mayfly coffee shop. Let's go in.
The first three emails I wrote to say. No, I did my part. I've reached out again for more questions maybe.
I know what you mean about emails and not when you actually
How much is it, Jay?
I am definitely not going to get on
It looks like no, I mean, that's it, true.
The lift going up to the 10th floor.
Yeah.